As a lot of you guys know, I love Star Wars, and while I'm super happy to get more Star Wars content, sometimes too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, and we saw that with the Disney Star Wars movies. We were all hopeful that they would be amazing, yet we got pretty terrible movies, if I'll be honest, like The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, with poor new characters and just awful writing. It was very unfortunate. I thought that The Force Awakens was a good basis to a trilogy, and unfortunately, they just completely went crazy with the other two movies, and they were just really, really bad. And The Mandalorian's been a great show so far. I mean, we just finished off season 2, and hopefully season 3 will be great as well. But with 10 new shows, plus the possibility of new movies, we should all expect the worst but hope for the best. Now, one of the projects that was announced was actually a movie directed by Taika Waititi, and I just have a very bad feeling about this, especially with some of his recent comments. Now, he's a joker and he loves to mess around, but this is extremely worrying to me as a Star Wars fan. Taika Waititi on Star Wars. I'm so angry about what I'm about to do to ruin it. So the Thor Ragnarok director Taika Waititi recently took to his Instagram to react to the confirmation that he would be indeed directing an upcoming Star Wars film. Waititi was announced to be directing a Star Wars film back on May the 4th of this year, and in StarWars.com's announcement, they revealed that Waititi would not only be directing, he would also be co-writing the film with 1917 writer Christy Wilson Cairns. I hope that I'm saying their name right. It says Kathleen Kennedy would then also confirm that Waititi would also be directing a film during the Disney Investor Day 2020 presentation. Now, the whole Disney Investor Day 2020 presentation went pretty well, in my opinion. They announced a ton of things, especially for Star Wars, and as a Star Wars fan, I feel a little bit confused on this because while I am someone who loves more Star Wars content because I love the franchise and the universe, and I'm happy to see returning characters that are good characters, I also feel in a way that they're milking Star Wars, that they're saying we are going to push out as much content as possible because we know that we can make money off of it. So as a Star Wars fan, I'm still a little bit conflicted on them having 10 new shows and tons of movies and just all of this content because I'm excited for it, but it also makes me feel like they're just milking this franchise dry. So it's really hard to speculate on the future of the franchise because we only have a very generic idea of what these shows are going to be about. And if all of these shows are prequels to the sequel trilogy, then that's a lot of potential retcons because they need to add a lot of content to the universe that wasn't accounted for in those movies. So Kathleen Kennedy went on to say, our Star Wars theatrical slate is pushing forward into a new future era. As we announced recently, we are currently developing a brand new Star Wars feature with acclaimed filmmaker Taika Waititi. She went on to say, Taika's approach to the Star Wars universe will be fresh, unexpected, and unique. His enormous talent and sense of humor will ensure audiences are in for an unforgettable ride, and he's currently hard at work writing this next adventure. Now, this to me does in a way sound good because I do think that he has a lot of talent and he does have, a sense of humor, but because they're focusing on his sense of humor, it kind of sounds like they're going to try to do a Star Trek Lower Decks. Now, this isn't confirmed at all, this is just my speculation, but Star Wars is known for having tons of characters with comedic value. I mean, just look at Jar Jar Binks or even the droids. All of the droids are placed into the series for comedic value, yet we haven't seen a show or a movie based solely on comedy except for things like holiday specials. I mean, Star Wars already has a ton of comedy in it, so it could be interesting to see for sure if that's really the direction that they're taking it in. Now, it goes on to say the official Star Wars Twitter would then echo Kennedy's comments. They wrote a brand new Star Wars feature with acclaimed filmmaker Taika Waititi is in development. Get ready for an unforgettable ride. Now, this is the big problem here that I have because he ended up responding to it with what ugh, as a longtime fan of Star Wars, I'm so angry about what I'm about to do to ruin it. Now, as this article points out, it says now it's more than likely he's having a little bit of fun, as he usually does, because he is a joker, but it does also point out that he has previously used this language before when responding to fans when he was announcing that he was going to be directing Thor: Love and Thunder. Someone tweeted at him, "It is due to your Marvel work that this mess is possible. Your writing ruined Thor, his mythos, and his characters. So no, I do not want to see this film if we are truly getting a Jane Foster Thor." And he responded with something very similar, "I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby." And another user wrote, at Taika Waititi, "Ruined Thor Ragnarok for me. Too much comedy. Let's hope he doesn't do the same with Love and Thunder." And he responded with, "Sorry in advance, sucka." Now, when it comes to his comments about Thor, we don't really know what that movie's going to turn out to be. It could be great, and I would love that. I really don't want them to butcher Thor, but it could also be bad. Now, the comic series that it's based on about Jane Foster did have a lot of moments where you could tell that it was a total push for diversity, but even though it still had a good redemption arc because Thor proves himself worthy again. Now, we don't also know how they're going to portray Thor, because if they make him like this misogynistic guy, and that's why he wasn't worthy at the beginning, and he has to face that to wield the hammer again, it's gonna be awful. But at the same time, I could unfortunately definitely see that happening, where it's basically a message to men about how they need to realize that they're toxic sometimes. And as you can see, Taika Waititi has really played into negativity. He has basically said, "I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby." Like, I don't care about established history or established lore in a franchise. I'm gonna create what I want because I can. And unfortunately, as a consumer, it makes me not want to trust him. And he has done some good things in the past, but when he's basically mocking fans who are genuinely worried about a franchise, it makes me lose respect for him. So, should we really give him an unbiased chance when it comes to Star Wars, especially when he's making the same type of comments about Star Wars that he's made about Thor? Now, it's rough, to make that decision between giving him a chance or not. I don't want to instantly have to doubt a director because they make one comment on social media, but unfortunately, when the fate of a franchise is in someone's hands, you do look at them and you do want to make sure that they're doing a good job with it. I want Star Wars to be good. I want good Star Wars movies and good Star Wars shows, but is it going to be good coming from him is what I really don't know. I guess we'll see and only time will tell, but I'll definitely be watching this to see what else he has to say, that's for sure. At this point, I am really worried about what he's going to do to Star Wars, especially if he's mocking fans who are worried, saying, "I'm so angry about what I'm going to do to ruin Star Wars." So only time will tell. I really, really hope that he doesn't ruin anything, but I'll probably be referencing this video again in the future when we get more information on his movie. But let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think that he's genuinely just joking, or based on some of his past comments, do you think that he might actually ruin the franchise that a lot of us love? But if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like and share it. I appreciate all the support. And of course, if you didn't like it, make sure to give it a dislike. But I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.